In this lecture, I'm going to show you linting in action. So let's start by writing some invalid code like this. Print, space, with no parentheses, and then hello world. Earlier I told you that print is a built-in function, and whenever you want to use or call a function, you should always use parentheses. Now, to be more precise, this is actually valid Python 2 code, but because we're using Python 3 here, this is invalid code from Python 3's point of view. So now when I save the changes, you can see this red underline here. Let's hover our mouse over this underline. You can see this tooltip. It's coming from Pilot, and here's the error message. Missing parentheses in call to print. Did you mean print with parentheses? So this is the benefit of linting. As you're writing code, you can see potential problems in your code. You don't have to wait to run your program to see these errors. So now, if we put parentheses here and save the changes, you can see that red underline is gone. Let's look at another error. Let's type 2 plus and then save the changes. Earlier, we ran this code in Python interpreter's interactive shell. There, we got a syntax or grammar error. So if you hover your mouse here one more time, you can see Python is telling us that this is invalid syntax or invalid grammar. It's like an incomplete sentence. So this is linting in action. Now let me show you a couple useful shortcuts here. On the top, look at the view menu. Here we have this problems menu. Look at the shortcut. On Mac, it's Shift, Command, and M. On Windows, it's probably Shift, Control, M. So as you're working with VS Code, try to memorize these shortcuts because they really help you write code faster. Now let's take a look at this problems panel. So this problems panel lists all the issues in your code in one place. So if you have an application with multiple files, this is really useful because some of those files may not currently be open. So this linter, PyLint, will analyze all your files, and if it finds any issues, it will list them here in the problems panel. Now you can also put this on the right side of the screen. So let's put it here. So as you write code, these problems will appear here. Now let's fix this issue. So I'm going to add 3 here, save the changes, and you can see the problem disappeared. And one last thing before we finish this lecture. Once again on the top, let's go to the view menu. The first item is command palette. This is a very important feature in VS Code. Once again, look at the shortcut that is Shift, Command, and P on Mac or Shift, Control, P on Windows. With this command palette, you can execute various commands in VS Code. If you type lint here, you can see all commands related to linting. As you can see, all these commands are prefixed with Python because these commands come with the Python extension that we installed earlier. So these are additional features available to us in VS Code. The first command here is select linter. In this list, you can see various linters available for PyLint. So as you're reading tutorials or talking to other people, you will hear about linters such as Flake 8, MyPy, Pep8, and so on. Different developers prefer different linters. I personally prefer PyLint. That is the most popular one, and that is the default linter set in the Python extension of VS Code. If you're adventurous, you can try using other linters on your own. The difference between these linters is in how they find and report errors. Some error messages are more meaningful or more friendly. The others are more ambiguous. So that's all about linting. In the next lecture, we'll talk about formatting code.